What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is your main man, Juggernaut of Multi-Platinum Production Team.
Arkatech Beatz.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going crazy right now. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. I'm having a little technical difficulties. I was just trying to. Oh, I see what's happening here. I normally don't do that. Normally cut off that sound. That's talking double time. It's Instagram talking back to me. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. If it's your first time here, welcome to the music production and beat making live stream. This is day 131. Every night we get on and we basically do a little cook up in terms of beats. We are multi-platinum producers. Shout out to my partner Mike Trauma D. If it's your first time here, make sure you like, commenting, and subscribing, hitting the follow button. You know, doing all that other good stuff. We are producers for your favorite rapper's favorite rapper: Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy, and Mobb Deep. Jada Kiss, The Game, Sci-Hi, The Prince, Max B, Freddie Gibbs, Killer Mike, Waka Flocka Flame, Shorty Low, with so many others. So like I said, if it's your first time here, make sure you like, commenting, and subscribing. You are not on the random producers page. You are here to experience a good experience. For those who are looking for music production, man, make sure you're checking us out at arkatechbeatz.com. For those who are looking for beat kits, drum kits, check us out at arkatechbeatz.com, and make sure also that you're checking out our books, you know, on the music business. Those are also available at arkatechbeatz.com. Make sure you're checking those out. Getting that taken care of, man. Learning the music business, man. That's what really this is all about, is learning the music business, learning how to do music production. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. I'm about to get started in this thing. I got a sample in here. Rick, what up? Thanks for the gift. 4720, man. Thanks for the gift, man. It's a 4-bar loop. You know, we got a couple of parts in here. We're gonna just lay it down. See what we come up with. Boy Swagger, man, what up, man? There's a lot going on, my brother. Now that's strange. Oh, there's space in the front of here. We're gonna lay down the main sample part. We're gonna add it. We're gonna add the second part real quick, which is sounds like some bells. We're just gonna get right into this thing. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Tapping the screen, man. Help the algorithm. Let's add some hats in here real quick. Oh screen in here real quick. Let's go. I like that. One more time. Gotta open hat it real quick. Add the snare in real quick. Fix one thing here. Fix the stop point on this. Let's get this lead in here real quick. Shout out to everybody in the live. Let's go. Let's do that first. She-Maze, what up? Free Society, what up? MK, what up? Oh, add a kick drum in there real quick. Distortion in some of this sample. We're gonna bring it down though. Start paying attention to the gotta start paying attention to the signal here, making sure that stuff isn't going into the red, because you will get digital noise. Sometimes you can hear it, but sometimes you don't hear it until you export it. sometimes some sounds are just loud, you know what I mean? Like if you notice, this is going straight into the red. So it really tells us that we have room to bring it down. Like in a safe range. Like technically this would be a safe range where you can see where it's not going into the red. But you know I wanted to knock during the live, so I gotta make it go into the red. Play some drums on real quick, man. Add the sound in real quick. Disco, hit me in the DM, man, on IG. It's the same. Everything is the same. Arkatech Beatz. I don't know if you guys hear it, but that piano, that bell. Boy Swagger, nah, I don't stem out. Only time I'm stemming out, man, is when it's time for somebody to cop the master. Boy Swagger, what do you think is wrong? minimum warranty? Definitely some chill vibes. I was having a conversation today with Mike D. And we were working on some deals with our lawyer and stuff. And I can't stress enough to y'all that listen, man, you gotta really understand your business, man. Like you have to understand your business, man. Like I cannot encourage folks more than ever to understand your business. We're dealing with a not to get too deep into the weeds of it, but we're dealing with like a copyright dispute. But it's an aged copyright dispute. So it kind of has a situation where, the label has, released something and, the paperwork wasn't completed the way it needed to be completed. And, sometimes you can be dealing with stuff that may be like statute of limitations. You can be dealing with stuff that just has different variables in it where it's not necessarily cut and dry. And you have to remember that we're producers, and as producers, the labels like to relegate us to a certain status level. So a lot of it is just kind of like, hey, they're conditioned to believe that, hey, you're gonna just take your music, you're gonna sign off the rights, and give your rights away for a royalty, etc., etc., etc. So when you understand that you have a little bit more rights, and when you realize that you're really a rights holder, when you realize that you set up your company the right way, and that you have your copyrights, and that your copyrights are really like those are your assets, right? Your musical assets, whatever. And you're a rights holder, they're not used to you dealing with them like that. So I say all that to say this, like, if you're not versed in your business, meaning, what are your rights? What are you entitled to? What should you be entitled to when things go left? What are the state statutes, right, in terms of, time frames for being able to sue for infringement or things like that? Like, you have to make sure that you understand your business, because even your attorney, in some cases, your attorney may be just used to just doing a deal the standard way. And if you're not vocal, or if you're not versed in the business, to say, hey, I don't want to do a traditional producer contract, I want to do a rights holders contract, or I want to do a licensing deal, like, those things have to be articulated, and you have to be able to explain, why you want those type of deals, what's in it for you, and then you have to make sure that you're able to articulate those things to your attorney so that those things can be put into, written contract. So someone's asking me, what do I mean they want to relegate you to a certain status level? When you make music in this business, especially if you're a producer-songwriter, musician, etc., it's like the people who cut the checks, or the people that's in charge of the money, don't really have a certain level of respect for what you do. A lot of people feel like what we do is too easy. A lot of times people feel like what we do is, they turn their nose up at it a little bit. So there's a certain stigma that's attached to, you're a producer, and, they're so used to us, like, again, selling our rights. Because when you're dealing with a major artist, in layman's terms, you are kind of selling your rights to your music so that they can, exploit it, and then they will exploit it for a royalty. So you're exchanging your masters for royalty compensation. So when we're doing that, it's kind of, it's a work for hire. It's kind of like, you hire somebody to paint your house, or it's like you're just hiring somebody to do a job, and you never see them again, and you don't really regard them as high, like that. So you really have to understand your business. And again, we had a situation, like I said, there's a dispute, and people are going back and forth, and they're offering us certain things. And if you're not business savvy, if you don't understand what they're offering you, if you don't understand the things that they're offering you, that sometimes the things that they're offering you can give you limitations, right? Things can sound good as they're coming in, but there can be underlying limitations in it, right? So, for example, I'll give you a little bit of an example with it. Like I said, there's a copyright dispute. The label wants to say, okay, you know what? We'll split the ownership of the copyright with you, right? We already put the record out. You're claiming, we don't have the right paperwork. It's already out. So why don't we do joint ownership, right? Sounds good on the surface, right? Sounds good, right? Joint ownership sounds good, right? Sounds great. But when you have a situation where a record is of a certain age, right? If you accept that joint ownership, then what it prevents you from doing is it prevents you from going back to look at the books past 6 years. And then also it prevents you from, suing for infringement, because now you're sharing the copyright, right? So, these are the type of things that people try to do on the sly, and if your people are not slick about it, or if you don't understand it, your lawyer's going to be like, well, it sounds good, you just take the joint ownership, not realizing that if you're owed money retroactively beyond 6 years, you would be basically capping yourself of getting access to that royalty base. And then also, you wouldn't be able to sue for it, because now you can't sue the joint owner of the copyright. So this is just one of the examples that I have, and there are a ton more examples, man. And these things are happening in real time, and these are just not things that you're going to see in any music book. You're not going to see them anywhere. When you have contract disputes, when music is released and they don't have the paperwork for it, because it happens often in this world, where you may create a track, artists may rush to put it out, blows up, but nobody ever did formal paperwork. So you have to really be able to understand what your rights are. You have to be able to understand, the time windows as to when you should be asking for the books, the time frames as to when you should be filing your copyrights, the time frames as to if you want to do a copyright infringement claim. There are time frames, and once you get out of those time frames, man, you basically tie your hands. So you have to really make sure that you understand that. And then you have to also realize too is that if you're looking for lawyers that are going to sue the labels, good luck. Good luck on that. What I've been saying and what I'm learning is that, in most cases, the attorneys do not want to bite the hands that feed them. Coach Jay, what up? Shout out to Sean Anthony Bacon, the builder, my brother. My brother, Coach Jay, Sean Anthony Baker. Shout out to y'all. So if you're not really aware, you have to understand that, your lawyer, and if you have an attorney in the music business, please be clear. Their number one goal is to make a deal. That deal may be good for you. That deal might not be good for you. Either way, they get paid. But their goal is to make a deal. And it's up to you to make sure that you are business savvy enough to control the type of deal that you are going to get. And I cannot stress that to you more than I can. Like, I have to stress that to my folks that are on the live and folks that will be joining my portal. And I will be giving guys a lot more game, because it is treacherous out here, So once you come to the realization that, listen, your even the people that work for you sort of work for the label. Unless you're paying them up front with your own cash, or if you're paying them from the advance that the label gives you, then they work for the label. They don't work for you. You got to be clear. So you have to really understand that. Listen, that they're in the middle to create a deal. So I don't want to say people are playing both sides, but people are playing both sides. Make sure y'all guys are checking out Sean Anthony Baker in the sci-fi thriller short film Open Door. Over 10 million views on social media. I love it, man. It's good. The 3.0 is dope. My bro, man, for life, man. Always come through in the clutch. Appreciate you. Coach J, man, thanks for the gifts, man. That's my brother from the Bronx, man. Make sure y'all checking him out on his gaming channel, man. Coach J NYC. Go. Chad, I need a name for the beat. We did something pretty simple today. We didn't do anything that was really complex. The main thing with this sample is that it just kind of, in my opinion, it's not keeping the timing. I feel like it's drifting. In a case like this where you might have a sample that might be drifting a little bit off of the grid, your best bet is to just chop it. You know what I mean? Just chop it and trigger it so that you can get it to stay where you want it to stay. Especially if you can see, like how this has, very good peaks and valleys for chopping, so you can chop it really where you want it to get it chopped at. I'm saying? So we got samples in here. Got those little electric piano bells. Or glockenspiel, like my man Rob Mully would say. Kind of like a synth horn. More bells. And then we kind of got a sub bass there. The Coastal Vibes. Boy Swagger says, we should name it Coastal Vibes. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Make sure y'all tapping the like button. My man Boy Swagger said I should name the beat Chocolate Vibe. Coastal Vibes. What's the rest of the chat think? What should we name the track? Inception. Chat is saying it likes Coastal Vibes. That's crazy. We're gonna have to make this 8 bars. Shout out to everybody in the vibe, in the live. Twin Cities, what up? Tenant. That's going crazy right there. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody in the live, man. I did a joint the other night, man. It was called Everybody Eats. I posted it online on like Instagram and stuff like that, and it's getting a lot of fanfare. It says got a Christopher Nolan feel. Yeah, I'm gonna make my kids watch Dark Knight Returns, man. The first not the one with the Joker, but the one with Ra's al Ghul. we did a joint probably the day before that or 2 days before that prior. It was called, I think it was called Point Blank. Oh, everything, the samples are all coming out of splice.com. Make sure you're hitting the link in the description. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Make sure that, you guys are hitting that up. All the sounds are courtesy of Splice. Let's go. Make sure you got them headphones on. You hear that 808. You hear that bass. That sounded kind of mean. Okay, so we were doing pretty good. We were definitely doing pretty good. I don't know if I like this one. Wait a minute. Side. I almost called Daydrift. Oh yeah, we had this one the other day. It says Lazy Hawaiian Vibe for my birthday. I think I know which one you're talking about. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Arkatech Beatz.
Bring back in Usher. Let's go. Richard, you hear that, right? I think we can go up a few. I think we can go up, man. I think it can be faster, to be honest. I think we can probably get it to about 78. I'm gonna try it, see how it sounds. Rocket Source, what up?
Arkatech Beatz.
I like it at 76. You understand? Even though 78 sounded okay, 76 seemed like it was more in pocket. We'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and see where this goes, team. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Like I said, we've been rocking for 131 days. Rockosaurus, what's up, man? And we've been doing this thing, man. And listen, if there is a day where I don't get on, just know that something is up. You know what I'm saying? So something is up, and I'm just handling something that's more, that's pressing at the time. I'm committed to making sure that I'm going on live and making sure that we're, getting everybody good. Wiz Khalifa would sound great on that. You ain't never lie. But I'm really excited for what we're building in the background. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about some new partnerships that we got going on. I'm really excited about some new music that's going to be coming out. Yeah, I think 76 was better. It was like was more in pocket to me. It feels better in terms of the way that the sample and the drums are moving. Yeah, man, and listen, and what I said, like I said, what I'm building in the background, man, we're creating something that's never been done before. It's never been done. Like it's never been done at least by not like not by producers of certain calibers. I can tell you that. Um, and again, we're looking to be really transparent and the information that we're providing, and there's going to be like really no gatekeeping and really trying to make sure that guys are able to understand what's going on and really transform their business and making sure that they're doing their thing. It's just so many different, like a lot of these beats that we've been working on. Um, we have to make sure that we have to finish them. Some of them aren't even finished. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna probably take tomorrow, go through a bunch of tracks and make sure that we're getting those things finalized in terms of setting them up for school, for song mode, etc. Yeah, me and Mike was talking about that today too, man. Like, there's no new music, man. That the music industry, uh, the music industry, especially on the hip hop side, man, is wide open. And we were talking about it today, and the joke is that they're like, what happened? What happened? Why isn't there any music on Spotify? What happened? It's because it was all bots. It was all bots. It, like that's why these guys can't crack they can't crack the top. They can't crack they can't crack the code anymore because the music was never really hot. And everybody got so used to the bots. And if you didn't have the bots, and you had the stimulus package, right? So the stimulus package made you hot when you really weren't that hot. You know what I mean? So now people got to really rest on their true talent. And listen, what I believe is going to be the next level of the music industry, it's going to be all community based or very niche based, right? Meaning, I believe that artists are no longer going to be looking for, like, I don't think artists are going to be looking to be like the next big superstar. I think if that happens organically, it happens. But what I think you're going to see is you're going to see what we call like boutique music type thing going on. Like, you're going to have an artist that caters to a certain audience, and that's where they're going to target all of their efforts at, and they're going to curate and protect that artist, that protect that audience, um, with all their might, and the best way that I can explain that would probably be like a Russ or probably like a La Russell, right? Like how these guys are hyper focused on who rocks with them, and that's who they determine um, they're going to service. That's their customers, right? That's their fans. They're going to protect their fans, and if their fans help to grow the base, then that's fine. But they're not looking for what we would call, the superstar status anymore. I think the wave of those type of artists is potentially over. I think you're going to see more, again, more concentrated types of music. Guys that fall into certain genres, whether it be like boom bap specifically or something like that. And they're going to be servicing their audience and making a killing, right? Because you can be a big fish in your own pond, right? Because you're not competing with anybody at that point. You're competing with yourself. You got so many rappers that buy their own. And Richie, if you check out our podcast, we have an interview with the man. It's escaping me right now, but we have an interview with a guy, Chad Focus. He basically was one of those guys who was basically manipulating the system, and he used it to his advantage to get rich. You know what I'm saying? And we had him on the podcast, and he was really giving a lot of game about how things are manipulated and how things aren't really real online. And now it's come to a fever pitch. Yeah, I'll have to send you a link on that, bro. But I want to I'm gonna get ready to just wrap this up a little bit. Just trying to make sure that I'm ending a little bit earlier. I'm trying to start a little bit earlier, just so that we can make sure that we get enough rest, man. That's gonna be a big thing for me moving forward, is making sure I'm getting enough rest. Listen, man, if you haven't already liked and commented and subscribed, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow. Tomorrow is Friday. I will be on Friday. And prepare to be entertained. Wow, man. Thank God it's Friday, man. And my kids out of school next week. Oh, my God. Work. My man Nick, man, what up? I need everybody to be safe out here, man. Streets is crazy, alright? Till tomorrow. Peace.